On to the main event. As I said before, I'm going to leave these glasses up here because I might refer to them a little bit later on. 1 second. Looks like people in general are having some internet issues, so I'll be letting people in periodically throughout this presentation. But if you haven't found it already, the pen tool is located up here. It says the pen tool. If you click on it, gives a short little kind of, I don't know, educational little thing about how to use the pen tool, which you can see. I'm going to try to explain it to you now. So the pen tool is nice. The pen tool is it basically allows you to create freeform shapes and freeform paths. It is an anchor point creator. So right now, all I'm doing is just clicking around and creating shapes. So you can make pretty much whatever you want, and this isn't all that different from using the subselect tool, starting with, say a star or a polygon. However, what is nice about the pen tool is everything is already converted to a path. So even you don't have to convert anything to a path. It's all just editable, right? You can move these around however you want, which might be handy in some situations, might not. That's kind of, we've already learned that. It's just a different way to do it. Where the pen tool really shines is that it creates these Bezier curves, and we've kind of talked about that. It's what people in that video use those French curves for, and you've probably seen them before. But if you create an anchor point, create another anchor point, except you hold it down, you can actually drag and create these Bezier curves, right? Something like that. And this takes a little bit of getting used to. Don't get me wrong, it's a little weird at first because as you click and drag, you notice that you get these handles, right? So in each handle and each curve is affected by their previous handle. So you can see it's not just a new thing every time. By creating these Bezier curves, you're kind of working with, right, that handle that you just made, but also the previous handle as well. And really the main thing, or one thing to remember as you're using the pen tool for the first time, is to create an entire shape and not just a line. You do need to finish your shape, and I don't know if you guys see that, but there's a little circle that appears as I hover over my first anchor point. That circle means the shape will then close. So when you have a closed shape, right, you can go back in and make it any color you want. Right, now this shape becomes just kind of whatever you want it to be, but now it's a freeform organic shape, which helps you create a lot of different things and could be very useful in your different day-to-day assignments, right? So it is a little bit frustrating. The learning curve is very steep, but once you get it, it's really nice because it does tend to save you some time. So instead of, right, going through that whole process of making a circle, like say if we were talking about creating these glasses again, you don't actually have to go through the process of creating that circle and then converting it to a path and then moving things around. What you can do is use the pen tool, right? Come on, there we go. And you can just start drawing with it. So you can lay down an anchor point, and basically what I'm doing is trying to outline this shape, but you can actually create a very accurate copy using these anchor points. So like I said, it takes a little bit of practice at first, but you can pretty much, oops, grab the wrong thing. You can recreate kind of general organic shapes a little bit easier than you would have before. Also, you don't have to put shapes one on top of one another, right? So you don't have to, the black frames in the background, you can do that all in one pass if you want. This is also, right, I've had a lot of experience with this, so it won't go quite as smoothly probably the first time that you use the pen tool. But you can go around and kind of outline whatever it is that you want. And this is kind of what the process looks like. And it's really hard to describe, like I said before, but basically you want to click and drag along a path. So right now I'm kind of outlining this, the kind of black area, the frames, if you will, of our glasses, right? And creating a passable kind of knockoff, but it did take much less time than it did before, and also if you were going more slowly, it would look a little bit better. But drawing with the pen tool is tricky. You are outlining, right, and you're clicking and dragging. It's a little bit weird. So what I want you to do today, because I've spent a lot of time talking, is experiment with the pen tool and see what you can make. One thing that is very easy to do with the pen tool is something like the Triforce. So if you do not drag anything, you just click a series of anchor points. You can get straight edges, right? The curved edges only come when you start clicking and dragging. Okay, so experiment, see what you can do. Just kind of leave a whole page up. You don't have to have the sunglasses or anything, but experiment with some straight edged shapes, experiment with some curvy shapes. Try to end them all, try to have that kind of circle at the end, right? So try to get that circle in everything that you draw. And kind of like that first assignment where we just made a bunch of multicolored everythings. That's all we're doing today. I just want you to kind of experiment with it. If you feel crazy, you can actually go back to your shapes, right? Your basic shapes, and you can start redrawing them using the pen tool. So for example, if you were drawing the Triforce, right? Copy and pasting, there you go. Right, Triforce complete, done. So try just messing around, but if you want to get a little bit more aggressive with it, remake some of your other previous assignments that we've already done using the pen tool instead of the shape tool. All right, so kind of go for the same result, but use a different tool to get there, and try that out. Yeah, just kind of do a bunch of different, just experiment, see how it goes. Leave it all on your paper, and then take a screenshot at the end, just so I can see what you did. Don't forget to select all. There's no assignment for this. It's just going to be an informal check-in, so you can just email me a photo when you're done. So for now, just check out that pen tool again right up here. The keyboard shortcut, I believe, is the letter P, so you can do that as well. Just experiment with it, see how it goes, and then we'll do a screenshot at the end of class. So does anyone have any questions before I turn you loose for the last few minutes of class?